Hello everyone. In this video, I wanted to talk about the difference between be responsible and be the cause of what happened to me. So the difference between the responsibility and somehow culpability. And there is a huge difference, and many people ask me about it because it can really open up to many misunderstanding and misinterpretation. So I wanted to spend some words about it to give you my own point of view about it. So when we say I am the cause or the origin of whatever it happened to me, we talk about a level of the being which is not that maybe my ego and my mind, my human mind, it cannot really grasp. But it means at another level, at the soul level, I am at the source of all the circumstances that happen in my life. That doesn't mean though that, let's say, if I am in a relationship and I leave a betrayal. So let's say we had me and my partner established agreements based on what's really important to me and apparently for the other one too. Agreements and values shared like sincerity, transparency, authenticity, and maybe also exclusivity. We are just talking about an example. It can be many other things, but in this example, maybe we can walk through it and it will become clearer. So if those agreements were in place, and one of the two break the agreement, so act like going with another person, having a sexual experience with another person, and hide this information to the partner, in that moment the agreement on which we established confidence and trust in our relationship is broken. So the anger, which is one of the possible emotional reaction, and the other one can be sadness and many other, that I feel as the partner that has been somehow not allow it to access to the truth, to the information of what was happening in the relationship. My emotional reaction, it's signaling me that something very important has been violated or ignored or not honored or not respected. So the no that I feel inside and my emotional reaction, it's totally valid and legitimate. So responsibility, be at the source of what happened to me. It doesn't mean that I lose my capacity of discerning what's my own responsibility and what's the responsibility of the other one, nor allow any kind of behavior to continue to exist in my field of experience. So I can at the same time say a very strong and firm no to the continuation of an experience and maybe also of a relationship. It's one possibility. The other one is forgiveness, but requires the attitude of wanting to restore confidence from both parts. So an engagement to do this work of rebuilding confidence from two sides is very different from denying that the action that has just happened is not harmful or is not far from what I have explained and exposed that I wanted to choose and share. So we can at the same time recognize our right to say no clearly to situation, to relationships also, and rise up with our consciousness until a plan, until a perspective in which I can remember I choose all of my experience at some level, which maybe my mind really cannot understand right now. This is I am at the origin, at the source of this experience. And since all I want as source is the evolution of my being and the openness to more and more of the truth of myself in this experience that seems just to be bad and just seems to happen to me, there is maybe a gift that if I allow myself to embrace internally the old experience, I can maybe reach. So there is a lesson if you want to, or there is an opportunity. I love much more this word. There is a gift, a treasure, hide into the experience of betrayal, to just follow our example. I don't like no more not that much the word of betrayal, because I think that's also easily full of judgment, but for the ease of understanding each other and the example that we just did. So if I rise with my consciousness at that level that recognize I am at the source of everything that happened to me, and is not happening to me, is happening somehow through me, so I can also go to see closer where this old situation is touching inside of myself. What the part within me have been activated, apparently in response to the situation, but much more correctly, they were there before. They were there before, this wounded part that get activated again from the condition, the situation. These parts were there since a long time. And this experience is the opportunity that at soul level I choose in order to reconnect to this part, own them as mine, and meet this part at the light of the conscious being that I am today. This is where the healing takes place. So the old situation become a doorway, an opportunity for healing. Now, the part that arise through the situation are emotions that are blocked in our body system since a long time ago, and this emotion weren't allowed to do their life cycle, which allow this emotion to be released and to live and to transmute in something else, because we live on a transitory plan in which everything, it just have a time to be alive. An emotion the same. What keeps them alive over and over again, in my way of seeing, are two things. One is the not allowance of their life cycle. So when we try to stop the emotion, we deny the emotion, we push down the emotion, we resist the emotion, that form of life, that form that emotion is, cannot do the whole life cycle that is meant to do in order to then disappear, dissolve, or transmute. So we block this life cycle that can never end. And so this emotion remains alive, stuck in some part of our system. This is one level. And the second one is that when we are a child and we first experience this pain that we are going through to re-experiencing through what is happening now, the betrayal of our example, this pain is an old pain, and in the moment that we felt it when we were a child, we interpreted with our limited knowledge about life and ourselves, and we defined belief about it. So we create a core belief around it, which is what keeps the emotion alive again. And this belief go very fast and unobserved while we experience through challenges in our relationship, for instance, or through big challenges like the betrayal that we just talked about. These beliefs go very fast, and we tend to believe I am feeling that because of what is happening there. But no, I am feeling that because that was inside of me before, and the situation is happening as an opportunity for me to finally go see this part of me that is seeking healing. And what is healing? Healing is when this childish part of ourselves wake up and finally meet an adult, the consciousness of the adult being, man and woman that we are today, and then can embrace this part and give to her or him a different interpretation. So it can rewire the belief that has been created around the traumatic experience, which still exists in our subconscious mind, and it's constantly running in one form or another one our life. So it's not that just when this experience happened, like the betrayal happened, then the wound immediately happened to exist again. No, it has always been there, and it has been very conditioning, but silently and invisibly. So an event like that, like push the process of becoming aware of what is already here. And by becoming aware as the conscious being that I become, I can go meet this 5 years old, 7 years old, 3 years old part of me that interpret what happened in a certain way, and which is then still suffering from that interpretation, and help her to see differently, to interpret differently. So, for instance, in the betrayal that we are saying, we are simplifying, but it's an example, and it can be maybe talk too many. So I'm gonna simplify. In the example of the betrayal, so let's say we perceived as child that the love or the caregiver were at one point turned from us to something else or someone else. So we felt abandoned or rejected or betrayed. So the interpretation, this is what happened. There is a movement of energy or of attention or caring or whatever, of a caretaker from one source to the other one. And the one that felt abandoned, not chosen, interpret that choice of distance, of affection, as her own fault. She or he assigned a meaning to what happened. And since all the children are designed to conceive that the whole world start and end up in their family, they conceive they are the cause of the behavior of the adults. So that interpretation become, I'm not worthy of love, very simplifying. And the event that as a woman today I experience again, give me the opportunity to go meet the part of me that doesn't believe to be worthy of love, because that has been the first interpretation. So when the event reproduces itself, instead of living that unconsciously again and assigning the same meaning, is just one meaning of the possible one, but at the core we generally end up there. Instead of reproducing the old pain, I can use that as an opportunity to heal that pain, letting that emotion do all the life cycle, let myself being washed by this emotion when it arises, and taking care of the interpretation of the meaning that I assigned. So going to meet the part of me that I assigned a limited, a distorted meaning, and go teach her or share with her a much more accurate interpretation of what's happening. And in this sense, what happened, that it seems to be something that happened to me, that I am a victim of. If I can rise to the level in which I recognize, wait, this is not something that is just happening randomly, like nothing happened randomly. I am at the source of what's happening, and I am responsible for how I react to what's happening emotionally, what perception I adopt and I hold on to. But I need this shift in perspective from victimhood to recognition of being at the source of what's happening, to facilitate an opening to the experience, an allowance, an acceptance of it, because I cannot look closer to what I am rejecting. If I reject the experience, like feeling this shouldn't have happened, I don't allow myself to go look to the hidden treasure in it. I don't allow myself to live it as an opportunity, as it's meant to be, for my own living, my own healing, because life loves us, but we need to remember it when it's the hardest. So I hope this helped you, and yes, see you soon. Thanks so much for your attention. Bye.